Merry Christmas, everyone. 안녕하세요. 읽어영 Read It Bro입니다. 앞으로 여러분들에게 영어 책을 읽어드릴 텐데요. 두 개의 파트로 나눠져 있고, 첫 번째는 그냥 스토리만 영어로 듣고 싶은 분들을 위해서 쭉 영어로 읽어갈 거고요. 두 번째 파트에서는 스토리, 단어, 표현 등 또 스토리에 대한 제 생각들을 설명하도록 하겠습니다. 두 번째 파트를 보시고 단어, 표현 등을 생각하시면서 다시 첫 번째 파트의 리딩을 들으시면 많은 도움이 될 것 같아요. 많이 부족하지만 도움이 되길 바라겠습니다. 그리고 제가 처음으로 선택한 책은 Chicken Soup for the Soul입니다. 여러 짧은 감동 스토리들을 묶어놓은 책인데 짧으면서 좋은 내용들이 많이 있어서 선택했습니다. 그럼 시작하겠습니다. The healing power of love. We dreaded Christmas that year. It was 1944 and the war would never be over for our family. The telegram had arrived in August. Bob's few personal possessions, the flag from his coffin, the plan of his burial site in the Philippine Islands, and a distinguished flying cross had arrived one by one, adding to our agonizing grief. Born on a Midwest prairie, my brother rode horseback to school but wanted to fly an airplane from the first day he saw one. By the time he was 21, we were living in Seattle, Washington. When World War II broke out, Bob headed for the nearest Air Force recruitment office. Slightly built, skinny like his father, he was 10 pounds underweight. Undaunted, he persuaded Mother to cook every fattening food she could think of. He ate before meals, between meals, and after meals. We laughed and called him Lardo. At the Navy cadet office, he stepped on the scale. Still 3 pounds to go. He was desperate. His friends were leaving one another after the other. His best buddy was already in the Marine Air Corps. The next morning, he ate a pound of greasy bacon, 6 eggs, and 5 bananas, drank 2 gallons of milk, and bloated like a pig. Staggered back on their scales, he passed the weigh-in with 8 ounces to spare. When he was nominated hot pilot of primary training school in Pasco, Washington, and involuntarily joined the Caterpillar Club at St. Mary's, California, we shook our heads and worried. Mother prayed. He was born fearless, and she knew it. Before graduating from Corpus Christi, he applied for transfer to the Marine Air Corps at Pensacola, Florida. He trained in torpedo bombers before being sent overseas. They said Bob died under enemy fire over New Guinea in the plane he wanted so desperately to fly. I never wept for Bob. In my mind's eye, I pictured my debonair big brother wing-tapping through the clouds, doing what he loved best, his blue eyes sparkling with love of life. But I wept for the sadness that never left my parents' eyes. Mother's faith sustained her, but my father aged before our eyes. He listened politely whenever the minister came to call, but we knew Daddy was bitter. He dragged himself to work every day but lost interest in everything else, including his beloved Masonic Club. He very much wanted a Masonic ring. And at Mother's insistence, he had started saving for the ring. Of course, after Bob died, that too ceased. I dreaded the approach of Christmas. Bob loved Christmas. His enthusiasm excited us long before reason took over. His surprises were legendary. A dollhouse made at school, a puppy hidden in mysterious places for little brother, an expensive dress for mother bought with the very first money he ever earned. Everything had to be a surprise. What would Christmas be without Bob? Not much. Aunts, uncles, grandmother were coming, so we went through the motions as much for memory as anything. But our hearts weren't in it. Dad sat for longer and longer periods, staring silently out the window, and Mother's heart was heavy with worry. On December 22nd, another official-looking package arrived. My father watched, stone-faced, as Mother unpacked Bob's dress blues. After all this time, why, oh why, did they, the nameless they, send his dress uniform? I thought bitterly. Silence hung heavy as she refolded the uniform to put it away. A mother's practicality surfaced, and she went through the pockets almost by rote. Aching with grief, in a small inside a jacket pocket was a neatly folded $50 bill with a tiny note in Bob's familiar handwriting for Dad's Masonic ring. If I live to be 100, I'll never forget the look on my father's face. Some kind of beautiful transformation took place. A touch of wonder, a hint of joy, a quiet serenity that was glorious to behold. Oh, the healing power of love. He stood transfixed, staring at the note and the trimly folded $50 bill in his hand for what seemed an eternity. Then he walked to Bob's picture hanging prominently on the wall and solemnly saluted. "Merry Christmas, son," he murmured, and turned to welcome Christmas. Mary Sherman Hilbert. Thank you for listening. Merry Christmas, everyone. Bye.